Another example of the perils of free software is the frustration that I experienced trying to do this very project. I went to puremac.com, which is where I usually go for my freeware needs, and I looked around for a screen recorder, and I found one called Copernicus that was not so much recommended as it was free, and under the circumstances, I thought I would give that a whirl first. Now, what's interesting is when you open Copernicus, nothing happens. So, if you look at the documentation, and it's actually fairly noteworthy that there is documentation, you see that you need to press the F8 key. So, we can go ahead and do that, and it pops up this little menu. As a side note, I'm using a laptop, and I know a lot of college students will be using laptops at this point, so it's actually kind of frustrating to have to use the F8 key because that's usually devoted to functions. But that's okay. So we have the menu up, and we're trying to record a movie, so we click Movie. Um, Now keep in mind the documentation contains no instructions about where to go after you hit F8. There's a changelog, but that doesn't really help me if I didn't use previous versions of the software. So we want it in the memory, I guess, because we don't necessarily want to save it. So we can go ahead and start, presumably. And and now I don't know what's happening because it should be saving. Huh. Interesting. I'm guessing it's saving. I don't know how to stop it. So how about we see what sort of windows are hiding in my background? Nothing. That's awesome. So Copernicus is cheerfully doing its thing, apparently. And aha! Alright. So we'll go ahead and save and see what we have so far. We'll save it as screen movie. And that doesn't look very promising. So let's open it in QuickTime. And awesome! We've got a blank, soundless, and I'm going to go so far as to say useless recording. So I actually went back and forth with this a few times, and I didn't get any further. And I wound up getting iShowU, which I'm happy to recommend if you're ever in a position of needing a screen recording software, even though I had to spend $20 to get the functional version of it. And this is one of those things that you just need to be aware of when you're doing a project. Sometimes you can't rely on free software, and sometimes if you find the free software, you won't find any documentation even by trying to find other people who have done what you're trying to do. And eventually you wind up shelling out. And if you're trying to do it 30 seconds before class, that can be a very frustrating experience.